Hey guys, it's Mario here, back with another quick video, and in this one we're going to cover a very frequently asked question that I get about diet tracking. So do you need to count your calories? Do you need to use a tool like MyFitnessPal when your goal is to lose fat, when your goal is to get a six-pack? And the short answer to this question is no. You definitely don't need to count every single calorie, or you don't need to use any tracking method. And why am I saying that? Well, look, you can be in a caloric deficit without even knowing that you're in a caloric deficit. If you're in a deficit, you're gonna lose weight, right? So as long as you're keeping track of your body weight, and as long as you roughly know that you're in a caloric deficit and that body weight is going down and you're training, you get your protein, there's really no need to track. But the problem is that without initial tracking, most people won't even have an idea where to begin with. Most people will not have a general awareness of how many calories they're eating. Because, I mean, let's face it, most people don't know a difference between a 500 calorie meal and a 2000 calorie meal. And because there's a lot of hidden calories for someone who hasn't been educated in nutrition, they will say this salad, it's healthy, salad is healthy. The salad might have 600 calories of salad dressing on it and have like 2 handfuls of nuts in it and a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. That salad could easily be 800 calories, right? The thing is, like, people might be eating chicken breast, and then chicken breast has a couple of tablespoons of oil on it, has some cheese on it, has a lot of different dressings, side dishes, and all these other things, making that total meal like 2000 calories, and you're thinking you're eating chicken breast and salad, which is the ultimate bro healthy food, right? So I would recommend for people in general to do at least a week or two of tracking, where you really are becoming aware of how many calories you're eating. You're also looking at food more like, okay, what macronutrients am I getting from this, rather than simply looking at the food, what the food name is. So instead of looking at like chicken breast, rice, and broccoli, you're actually looking at, okay, protein, carbs, and fiber, and vitamins and minerals, stuff like that, rather than just being like, oh, I just ate chicken and rice. You would be like, hey, I got my protein, I got my carbs, right? So it's shifting more to that mindset of like really understanding nutrition, and that will happen if you invest some time into tracking. And obviously the skill set of you viewing the food in terms of macronutrients is something that sticks with you for a very long time, probably in a lifetime, right? So it's worth to invest some time into actually figure out your diet, and then afterwards, if you decide to set up your diet in a way that you don't need to track your diet, I mean, that's completely fine. So that's kind of a debate whether, okay, meal planning versus meal tracking, and both are equally great approaches to dieting, because every single person, if you talk to them who are very successful, they'll tell you that it's about a balance between tracking and planning. Planning would be like, hey, I know this is the amount of calories I need to eat to lose weight, and this is the amount of protein and carbs and fats, and then you will simply plan out the whole week or a couple of days ahead or simply a day ahead where you know which foods you're gonna eat. So that's planning, because you don't need to actively track, because you pre-planned what's gonna happen. You enter a routine, you simply execute. It's kind of a habit, right? And when compared to tracking, which is more like you're just tracking on the go. So you're going with the flow and you're just tracking food as you ate it. And this approach takes a little bit more time, but allows for more food variety, and you're basically sure that you're hitting your macros with that food variety. But it's really about the balance. Like, both of these in an extreme, let's say extreme planning, can sometimes limit variety and can limit stuff like when you go out with your friends, you have to kind of stick to your food that you pre-planned, versus like tracking, which is a bit of a pain in the ass because it takes a lot of time with all sorts of different foods. You need to figure out the quantities, you need to find them in the database. So if you got too much of like tracking on the go, it also takes too much energy, makes you fatigued, drains your willpower, all these other things. So it's really about striking a balance between the two, which you can consistently execute. So I kind of lean more toward planning if I'm really, really busy. If I'm not super busy, and if I'm a new city, when I have a lot of fun with nutrition, I want to try out different foods in a new city, I'm going to go more toward the tracking side of things. And it's really about striking the balance. As I said, balance is the key with everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video here on should you track. Definitely not needed. I mean, you can definitely set up your diet in a habitual way, in a behavioral kind of setup where you say, hey, I'm just going to have protein with every meal, I'm gonna have veggies with every meal, I'm gonna have carbs before or after workout, and I'm gonna have 3 meals a day, right? Very simple example. I'm not saying this is the best plan, but that's a simple example of where you simply also pre-calculate how many portion sizes you need, and voila, you know, problem solved, because you planned out the same caloric deficit as you would get it from continuous tracking. And aside from that, I mean, a lot of popular fad diets will put you in a caloric deficit without even you knowing that you're in a caloric deficit. That's why a lot of low carb or paleo people claim such great results, because the diet put them in a caloric deficit by eliminating a whole full food group, compared to like a regular normal diet where you can still be in a caloric deficit, but you just need to do some initial calculations and figure out what that caloric deficit is, and obviously track your body weight over time to make sure that you are in a caloric deficit. So I hope you guys enjoyed. As I said, quick video here. Let me know in the comments below if you're currently tracking your diet. I'm curious, are you using a tool like MyFitnessPal or some other tool that I'm not familiar with? So let me know that in the comments below. Do a little survey on you guys, who's tracking, who's not. Aside from that, make sure to hit that subscribe button right in the face to support the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.